Now you can hear me. Sorry about that. I had stopped something before. Hi, everyone. Sorry. Rabbi David here, your Torah tech guy. You've got the monitor in your sanctuary, right? And now you want to bring people, your Zoomers, in your Zoomagog into your Roomagog. How do you do it? All right, so let's talk about how we can use a second monitor in order to bring Zoomers into our sanctuary. Now, there are a couple things that I want to sort of get out of the way here. First of all, you could always just put another computer up and use that, right? So join the Zoom from two different sources. So one source is sort of your camera and your audio, and that's going into Zoom, and the other one would just be for a monitor for your participants. But there's an easier and I think more effective way to get that done, and it's by using dual monitors in Zoom. So let's hop over to Zoom and see how we make this work. So I've got a Zoom meeting going over here with way too many Davids. Let me pull this screen over a little bit so you can see it. So I've got three different people, three different Davids logged into this Zoom meeting. And the first thing you need to do is you need to enable dual monitors. So you're going to go up here to your meeting information. You can also do this ahead of time just by going into your Google settings, your Zoom settings. Click on that. I'm going to click on the cogwheel here. That brings up my settings. And then in general, the very first tab you have is use dual monitors. Make sure that is checked. Once that's checked, when you join a Zoom meeting, you'll have two different monitors, not physical monitors, but Zoom monitors. You'll have your main monitor here with all your controls at the bottom, and you'll have a secondary monitor over here, which just shows one view. Now, here's how you can use this really effectively. So you've got your computer, and you're running Zoom from that computer, and you're going to put your main Zoom monitor in gallery view on that computer. Maybe it's behind the bimah, or maybe you actually have it up on the bimah so that you can see everyone who's in the Zoomagog with you. Then you connect a second monitor to your computer via an HDMI cable. Just connect a second monitor, and then you're going to take this second screen here and you're just going to drag it over to that second monitor. Now, I actually have a second monitor here, but I'm not going to drag this over because then you wouldn't be able to see it. So instead, I'm going to leave it there. We're just going to pretend like this is my second monitor here. Now, here's what you do. Once you do that, I feel pretty strongly that it's not a best practice to just have the gallery view up on your second monitor, on your sanctuary monitor. And so that's why when you pull this view over, you don't see the gallery view. Instead, you see whatever is pinned to that screen. There's a difference between pinning and spotlighting. Spotlighting means everyone sees the same thing. So if I were to go over here to this view and spotlight for everyone, everyone's view is going to change. Let me get rid of that. So now everyone's looking at the same thing. But if instead, let me go back to gallery view over here. If I pin this camera to the second screen, then nothing changed on my end, but on the second screen, you've got this pinned video. So for example, let's say you have a, well, actually, let's just do it. So let's say this might get a little crazy because I'm using a few different cameras. So I'm going to replace the pin on that second monitor with my main camera. So this is my main camera now. So let's say as the rabbi or the cantor or the teacher, this is one, even in the synagogue, even in the sanctuary, even though people won't really be looking at it because they'll be looking at me, I don't want distractions up on the screen. And so maybe I would just put the video feed of myself up on that screen. Then when someone comes in for an aliyah or to do a reading, I just go over and I replace pin on second screen, and boom, that participant is there. And you can do that with any of these participants. You just keep going to the little three dots in the top right corner, replace pin on second screen, and you can cycle through who goes onto that screen. There are fancier ways to automate this or to make it push button easy. I'm not talking about that. We're keeping it simple and basic today. So basically, you want to enable dual monitor, grab your second monitor. Again, that's a Zoom monitor, not a physical monitor, and you're going to drag it over to your physical monitor. When you connect that physical monitor to your computer, you want to make sure that it's an extended display, not a mirrored display. The difference is a mirrored display shows what you're seeing on your main display on the second display. An extended display means it literally just extends your display so that you can just drag windows from one of your physical monitors to the other. So you want to make sure you have an extended display, drag your Zoom second monitor, your Zoom second window over to that. You can even make it full screen if you want. Actually, let me do that here. So this is, we'll pretend like this computer here is my second monitor, even though it would normally be a TV. I'm just gonna click up here and make it full screen. And then this is all that people will see is whatever you pin to this monitor. Now bear in mind that I can't change the pin because I'm doing this all on one screen, on one physical screen, but you get the idea. Now, here's one other thing I want to mention. In an ideal world, what I would want on that second monitor is maybe the temple logo or some beautiful artwork when somebody from the Zoomagog isn't participating. I don't necessarily want a video on, a video of me or a video of a participant up on that screen, because even if it's a video of me leading the service, it could be distracting because remember, there's going to be a little bit of a delay. As of right now, you cannot pin videos to a second monitor that aren't active. That is to say, if the camera isn't turned on, you can't pin that video. So let me actually go ahead and I will turn off one of the cameras that I have here. So now you can see I turned off the Techie camera, and you can see he's over here, but let me put someone else over there. So now when I try and put my little Techie guy over there, I don't know if you probably can't see, but there is no pin to second screen. And that's because the video isn't turned on. Whereas if I go down here to one where the video is turned on, I can pin that there. So since we can't do that, well, since you can't do that natively, you can't maybe just put a logo up on the screen until you're ready for someone to come in and participate. There are other ways to do it. You could use broadcast software. You could use something like Ecamm or something like that. If I want to, if I'm going to step away from the camera and I just want to put up an image where I usually would be, I have a button and I can just put this right up. But without this kind of additional tool, you won't really be able to do that on the second monitor within Zoom. You will need an additional tool to do that. But that is basically how you do it, right? You enable dual monitors, connect your TV or your physical screen, whatever it is, to your computer that's hosting the Zoom meeting, drag that second Zoom monitor over to that window, make it full screen, and then pin whatever participant you want, whether it's you or someone from the Zoomagog, pin them to that screen. Don't forget to unpin them when they're done. You don't want us staring at someone because we all make mistakes, right? We forget the camera's on. We show things we don't want to show. And basic rule of thumb, again, when it comes to audio for this, when the room is speaking, Zoom is muted. When Zoom is speaking, the room is muted. So in that meeting that you're hosting, if someone is participating from the Zoomagog, make sure you mute your Zoom microphone that's bringing the room in. And when they're not participating, make sure you're muting Zoom so everybody else is Zoom except for yourself. So that's how to use a dual monitor or second monitor to bring in participants in a hybrid environment. I think that's it. All right, I'm going to go say goodbye to the other 3 Davids that are sitting over here on this Zoom meeting, and I'll catch you later. Hey, have the most wonderful Shabbat. Bye, guys.